Cool.
Oh,
So, my friend.
This is good. I just recorded a female cello player 2 nights ago.
So, yeah, hello. Nice to have you here. This is the first modular pub. Run by Rights in the Storm. This modular company. So, actually, this is my kitchen. And I'm Uwe George. This is Koko. And this is Roy, our guest today. And Roy, he told me his family name is Hughes. He's from Welsh. Nice, Welsh.
Yes, originally.
Originally, long time ago. How? But not in the Mayflower, or?
No. Well, probably after the Mayflower, but not too far after it. In the 1970s, my family did a genealogy study, and I am related to John Smith, who was one of the original Puritans that came over. He married Pocahontas, who was a Native American, and so I have Native American blood in me.
Right. Nice.
And then also my parents, that was from my father's side, and my mother's side, she also has Native American. So the only thing about Native Americans I can tell you is that I didn't shave until I was 30. I couldn't grow hair anywhere.
So after this, we can smoke the pipe.
Sure.
Very nice. So good. You see, I'm fully informed. Very good the history, especially the American history. No, I know.
No, we need his history too.
The only thing I know as child I were an Indian. Yeah. This native. Today you say native. We say Indian. Right. But today everything's different. Today we have to say Native American. Whatever. I don't mind, but I prefer the good ones. You know, not with the gun, with the. What is this? The bow
and arrow. Yeah.
I like this. So anyway, cool. And you're there's a reason, Roy, you're here because we met in a couple of weeks before. We made a modular event with friends of us.
Yeah, jam. Modular jam at GG's.
Yeah, and it was really nice. And we met you, and you are here for 2 years, I heard.
2.5, yeah.
And totally enthusiastic synth and modular lover, right?
Yeah, I was a modular lover before I moved here. Ever since I was a kid, really. But I couldn't afford synthesizers when I was a kid. Right. So I learned electronics and built my own from scratch. Probably similar to what stuff you do.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not as advanced. I stopped doing electronics, for myself maybe 20 years ago. But I'm starting to get back into it now because there's a lot of modules out there that exist, but sometimes there's one in my mind that I can't find a module that does it, or even a combination of modules. So I think, well, maybe I could get back into software development and build one out of one of your
ideas.
Exactly.
From the ideas.
But I'll probably not do analog except for the input and the output, and mostly it'll be just coding and digital.
Okay.
Using a PIC chip or something.
Nice. And the reason to move to Berlin was the scene here, or just enough from US scene, or what do you think is the main point?
It was weird. I can't answer that exactly because it was my gut that told me to move here. I was working in tech by day in the United States and working in music at night. And I've been doing that for 40 years. And I was exhausted. I was working too much during the day and I never had energy for music. So I said, after the pandemic, I said, screw this. I'll sell my house and I'll go someplace and just do music all the time.
There's a big gut, man.
Yeah, it was a risk. And I looked around in the world. And there weren't too many places you could afford to do that. You can't do that in the United States. You can't just quit your day job and then just be a musician. There's no way to make money.
Yeah.
It's hard here, and I'm not profitable yet. But I think in the next couple of years, I will be. In Berlin, I'll be able to survive on just a musical income. It'll be a combination of different things. Of working in movies, doing modular shows, a little bit of money for that. And if I get into the modular business, maybe selling modules. Who knows? Don't know.
Yeah,
but I just what got me here was my gut, and I knew there was electronic music here, and I was always drawn to the Berlin scene.
Right.
And I'd only been here once before for a few days, but I just fell in love with it, and I rolled the dice and showed up, and it's been a great ride. The last 2.5 years have been amazing.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also Berlin lives from people like you that come from outside and
Yeah. Me
live
also.
their dreams.
Like
Yeah,
10,
exactly.
11 years because of sounds and the scene. People support each other. Musicians.
And artists,
And just-
all different
Yeah.
kinds of artists, not just
Yeah.
musicians.
We moved here like 11 years ago, and they're still here.
This is I think the number one thing I like about Berlin is that it is a melting pot of everything in the world.
Yeah.
Every culture gets mixed together, and then
Right.
when I work with somebody like you or somebody like you, it's a different culture, a different musical ideology, but it all comes together, and everybody brings something different to the soup.
Yeah.
Cool. So, but this time you don't have your modular system here, but we make another show, and then I hope you to see you with your rack, and you can explain a little bit your workflow.
Yeah, I mean,
but you brought something.
well, I brought the ring controller. You and I are doing a show next Saturday.
It's driven by Bluetooth, yeah?
Yeah, this is a Bluetooth ring.
Yeah, the ring.
Oh, okay.
Look.
And this one is, as you can see, broken.
She's very sensitive. Take care.
I did not mean to hit her with my ring. I accidentally was wearing this ring after a gig one night at Clunker Chronic.
Yeah.
And we had to move some tables, so I picked up a table while I was wearing the ring, and the pressure popped it apart. And I don't know if I can snap it back together.
Okay.
It looks like I could be able to, but I talked to the manufacturer, and they said just send it to us, and we'll replace it.
Right.
So that's what I'm going to do. But I kept it long enough to send it.
This is the broken one, but you have one.
Yeah, I have two rings, and each of them has a 4 HP.
So this is a ring.
Yeah, what is it?
It's Bluetooth. Okay, it is a Bluetooth controller.
Control.
If
So
you don't want to marry,
you can move your
Now
hand
you
around in
can.
the air.
Yeah.
And if you go this way, it's one control voltage.
So-
If you go this way, it's another control
so
voltage.
you have
It's like
a.
if you go-
conductor.
Right, if
That
you go like
means-
this, it's another control
That means
voltage.
you have a
Wow.
Bluetooth
If you do
model.
this, it's vibrato.
Okay. Oh,
And there's a
wow.
button for trigger.
Nice, nice.
And if you snap your hand, it's
Wow.
another trigger.
Wow. Okay.
But you need a model in the.
Yeah, there is
in
a
the rack, yeah?
4 HP module called
4H.
the Wavefront, and it speaks Bluetooth.
This is 4 HP is here. It's like this.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
small one.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, the receiver, the Wavefront they call it, can talk to any Bluetooth device. It can
Okay.
talk to an iPad, for example.
Right.
And there's software for an iPad where you can use sliders, like
Cool.
visual sliders, and just use it for an external control that you can carry around. Other people have used Wii controllers from the Wii game,
Yeah. That's why.
and they use that to
It's
control.
similar thing. It's basically the same thing, brother.
Yeah, it's similar. I think Wii has some optical things, so it has to be
It's like when people like want to reality.
virtual reality.
Virtual reality, like it's the same control. You think
It's
There's a similar-
it's similar to that.
okay, and you can, but you need like digital out of the 4 HP and plug it to some models. Is possible? Or?
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, it's just a 4 HP interface that sends out CV on 6 channels.
Okay.
So
Oh,
wow,
that's
okay.
great. And the idea is because we also talk about the event next week on Saturday.
Yeah.
At not Schneider's,
At-
the former Schneider's Laden.
which is
Yeah.
now the
Synthesizer
Synthesizer Museum of
Museum,
Berlin.
yeah.
This is the same place like Schneider's Laden before at Cottbusser Tor.
Yeah.
Same space, but now it's called Synthesizer Museum.
Ah, okay.
And
Yeah.
there are
Have you not
regular
been there?
events.
Yeah, last time I went to see him in Schneider. I went there. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
Mo,
they
this is-
move.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
move.
Yeah, they moved.
Oh, so you had to go.
Yeah.
Then you get back on the train and
What's
go up
going on
to
here?
Karl Marx Straße. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are regular live events, and one of them you host next week. And would be great to have some guests
Oh,
there.
nice.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
we'd love to have you as a
And,
guest.
Okay,
Tickets
I'll
are for
go,
sale right
sure.
now. We've
Yeah.
already advertised.
And you
Sure.
perform, then it's someone from Neuland. What's the name? Neuland?
Marion Newland is a cello or a viola player, and he likes to run his viola through his modular system. And I hooked up with him. I've done some shows with him before, but not together, but as separate performers. And this time he's going to take the ring, the same ring that I use in my
Okay,
set
yeah,
to control my synthesizer.
Yeah.
He's attaching it to his violin. So when he can play his violin through his modulator just like normal, but then one thing we did an experiment last week when I was at his place where he turns his violin this way using the horizontal axis and increase the amount of reverb and granulation in a granulator.
Right.
So he transformed his sound just by moving his violin while he's playing. And then he's going to do something else with the vertical axis. And I don't know what else he's going to do. He has the other ring right now. He has the one that's functioning.
Interesting. Yeah. Looking forward to that. I will be there for sure.
And Roy invited me also to play. Yeah. And I have to use also this wonderful
if
ring.
If you can.
I'm really nervous, but I have some ideas. And I will prepare something for that. Yeah, it will be cool to play together, not only talking.
Right.
And drinking, so playing.
There's just no pressure, by the way. If we can't figure out how to get the ring working with
a little bit pressure is not so bad. Not too relaxed.
But
we get sleepy.
I had also tried working with letting the ring in. We have a video guy doing a video performance, and he's got a rig too. And we experimented with using the ring to control the visuals, but it's too complicated to do that and sound at the same time.
Okay.
He would almost need his own ring, and he'd need a lot of time because there's much more to control in video stuff. So I think that's out. But all the audio performers, hopefully will be able to use the ring in one way or another.
Cool.
Marion will, I will, and hopefully Uwe.
Right.
And
so you got one each or like two each? Or...
I have 2 rings.
Okay.
But only one functioning. This is the broken one.
Right.
And so the functioning one...
exactly.
The functioning one I left with Marion. Marion is a very busy guy.
Okay.
I don't know if you know anything about him, but he built the world's largest sequencer.
Okay. No, I don't know.
His sequencer is bigger than this apartment.
Wow, okay.
And it takes 6 or 7 people to operate it.
Right.
But it's an amazing piece of technology.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
And one idea was also the last workshop I did at Schneider's Laden, we talk about controllers and how to make it. And I have some idea to make cheap controller by themselves, and maybe have some DIY stuff and give to Schneider's Laden. They can sell and I can show them how to build it. Maybe you can also make a DIY set or something is prepared, something not. But this looks more complicated. I'm not sure with the model here.
It's like the
but would be great just to introduce that there and maybe make a final product.
Yeah, workshop.
I think there's interest for controller like this.
Absolutely. I mean, I have other controllers in my rig. Like I have a Gliss, which is just a touchpad.
Yeah.
But it's also pressure, and it can be a little 5-step sequencer. It can be a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And then I have a tetrapad.
Yeah.
Which also with its sequencer add-on, so that you can set control voltages. It's like voltage block basically. A bunch of voltages that come out. You can either play them, or it can record them and then play back the stepping, so it can be used to control the state of your system, for example.
Right.
You can.
It's kind of physical as well, right?
That's the great thing about these controllers. They're all touch.
This thing is genius.
So
small. It's amazing. And then you have a small model here with 4 HP. This is brilliant. I think this is perfect.
Now, the reason I bought 2 is because I had this idea. I do live electronic music scoring for silent movies, like Nosferatu and Metropolis.
Right.
And when I was getting ready to do my Metropolis show in the United States, these are all live. There's nothing recorded. In the movie, there's a scene where the employees of this company are forced to set clock hands all day long. They're physically moving these clocks all over the place. And if you stop doing that, the entire building will blow up. So they have to keep doing this until they're almost dead. And so the scene in the movie, right before the machine blows up, because one guy fails to do his thing, he's just sweating and he's moving his hands around. So I thought, what if I was wearing the ring and I did the same movements, and I used that to change the sound of the modular, so
Yeah.
it became more explosive or more angry. And so that was the reason I got 2 rings, is so I could go like this.
Yeah, sick, man. It's,
But then after I did that show, and it went really well.
yeah.
It was it was the only time I've done Metropolis, and I'm about to do it again in Berlin.
Okay.
But after doing that, I realized, why not have dancers that can wear the ring? Somebody else wearing the ring.
Yeah.
And let the dancing, the choreography control the sound.
Wow, okay.
So this is the next thing I'm doing. I've got a dancer.
That's really interesting.
I have a dancer I'm
how
going to be working
sensitive
with.
it is? Because if you're not moving in
You can calibrate each of the ranges.
Okay.
So you can make it so the output at -5 to +5.
Beautiful. Like,
yeah,
really,
it's
like somebody dancing with the and can
exactly
make a movement like
exactly.
control the sounds. Like, it's genius.
I have this idea, like one of the things that I did during Metropolis when I was using the ring is I had a sequence going at, let's just say 80 BPM.
Yeah.
And the further up your hand goes, the more a BPM increases. So you have a sequencer that's going din 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 din. It goes faster and faster the higher the hand goes.
Yeah.
And this is what helped build up the tension before the explosion occurs.
Right.
So it could be used to control pitch, it could be used to control filter, or the speed of a clock or whatever.
Yeah.
There's so many uses for it.
Right.
And it's all things that you could imagine what you could do in 3 dimension. What do you want to do in 3 dimensions?
This is crazy, man. I really
You can go to the
you can to me.
You can go to the bar, order a drink,
Yeah.
and still make your
It's
set.
a lot.
no?
Yeah.
Lord, that's the
show,
rings
yeah.
now.
Exactly. What does it sound like when you're wearing the ring and you're buying a beer?
Yeah.
This is the sound of buying a beer.
It's made for me. I see that. I will check it
Yeah.
on Saturday. It's next Saturday, 26th of July. Yeah?
12th of July.
12th?
Yes, this is.
Saturday.
12th. What was 26th? Something else.
The options at the beginning. We could either do the show on the 12th or the 26th.
No, it's 12. No, 12. It's 12, yeah.
It's 12.
12
Yeah.
of July.
It's 12th of July.
So next week, 12th of July.
Yeah,
What
next
is
week.
entrance? 7 or 8?
It's going to be more than that, I think.
8, 9?
Let me see what they're charging, because I actually haven't checked to see what they decided to
What
charge.
I know, it's Saturday. Okay, Saturday, 12th of July
Yeah.
at Cottbusser Tor.
It's a tour, yeah.
Yeah,
Please, come check it out.
Yeah, Synthesizer Museum Berlin.info will get you there.
12th. Yeah?
Former Schneiderland.
And former Schneider's Laden. Yeah.
Yes.
You can check also website. Think of, you can find it on Bites in the Storm. You can find it on Schneider's. Not sure Schneider's Laden. They have also. I'm not sure, but you can find it.
That's
on,
a good question. I think I'll stop by there this week and see if I can leave something with them.
But I will post it below this video. I just checked the camera, and then I checked everything's fine, but I have to restart it a little bit.
Okay.
So, but it's normal. Yeah, everything's fine.
No
No,
Cool.
People like this improvisation. So we have just one camera and microphone here. We also want to play some music later, but good to have you here in Berlin, and I'm really looking forward. And we have to, after this Bluetooth event, we have to talk about, make some workshop or
project.
introduce it to.
Yeah, I've taught one workshop on wireless controllers using this ring, and I let everybody in the workshop play the ring.
Yeah.
Then I did a show that night that was in Utrecht, Netherlands.
Right.
And so I could easily teach another workshop on using the ring, and also I have additional other kinds of controllers besides the Tetra Pad, besides the Gliss, besides the ring. My next step is going to be using a different interface to the Bluetooth wavefront that this talks to, but not the ring, some other Bluetooth device talking to it.
Okay.
Like a Wii controller, I have an old game controller. I'm going to see if I can wire it in.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Amazing. So Utrecht, you went to the festival like the same with you?
No. This was just it's a month event. I think they do it every 2 months called Modulation.
Okay.
Is it a place called the Helling?
Right.
It's beautiful, great lighting system, great sound system, and a dedicated audience.
Right.
Cool.
They're
Is
not.
it for the like regularly or is it new?
It's a regular event. I haven't. I mean, we were invited as Berlin Modular Society, which is
Okay.
one of the groups I'm a member of here.
Okay.
We do monthly modular shows.
Right.
We were invited as a group to go up and perform
Okay.
for a modulation evening. So we all
Nice.
went up and did sets.
Yeah.
Cool. Great. Koko,
Yeah, man.
you brought some stuff here.
Is this all your
Yeah,
stuff?
I can,
Yeah,
it's
that's our,
nice. That's ours. Like
Nice.
it's a
jam.
you see the rack. It's a new rack from Right in the Storm. Yeah, the Storm
Beautiful, beautiful.
Storm nest. Yeah, very, very slim.
Just
and-
fit in the laptop bag easily.
And this is
Yeah.
Koko's side, and that's my side. So we, as you can see, it's with different models. But something is similar. The ACDC set.
Yeah.
Synth voice. We have the
Yeah.
same here.
That's the beast, man. This one.
That's the beast. No?
Yeah.
I have the sequencer here as a prototype, and he used this Korg SQ64. We have synchronized that with MIDI clock. Yes.
Yeah.
But the rest is different. Yeah, we can jam a little bit. So and then at least we can talk a little bit. Yeah, normally I would like a little bit to talk about systems, but you have your system in the
Yeah.
studio. You told me we can do it next time. We want to do it every week. Yeah, the idea to do it is event every week. So we talk about solutions or some questions or making sounds. This time, we have a guest. We talk about this and that. But normally, the intention is to talk about detailed solutions in the rack, or how to make drum sounds, how to make drones, or having guests that show something what they found out if they want to share it. And so far, also because it's run by Rides in the Storm, the company, also we show new stuff for sure. And yeah, Koko, let's go, huh? Let's have some session.
Yeah, man.
I think this is the most important. Cool. The kick is the yours, no?
Yeah, kick some.
How do you make it?
No, this is a kick model.
Yeah, it's a kick model.
It's a drum model actually.
Yeah, it sounds like a 808
Yeah. But
style.
I
Cool.
mix with the clip.
The synth comes from here. The sequencer controls the. I can. Oh, now I want to make a little bit glide. And the new feature is the function generator. It's here. I love this. We have an envelope, pitch envelope, or LFO with different waves. And I can also mute it.
Is the glide per step? Can you turn
Everything is each step.
Okay, so you could turn glide on for some steps. but
Therefore,
not
it's
other
called step parameter. So we have retrigger. For example, let's check the retrigger. Wait a moment. Yes. Very fast retrigger, huh? For clap sounds or just. And so it's for each step. Retrigger, also not finished. We have retrigger, modulation, glide, probability, microshift.
Microshift, like just milliseconds back and forth.
And a gate length and a CV. And the CV also we have scales. We can have different scales. Then we have division. 8 times less, 8 times more. And
Is it just one channel of sequence?
this is one channel now.
Okay.
We have 8 channels. The whole model offers 8 channels.
Ah, nice.
And it's also a MIDI interface. You can say you have MIDI here from the computer. You can decide, it's my MIDI interface from the Ableton or Cubase or whatever. I control my synth, or it's from the internal sequencer. Both running via clock, synchron, also a polyphonic modes. We have a keyboard, and then you want to play polyphonic setup. So live.
And how long can a sequence be?
64 steps.
64 steps. Cool.
Yeah, something runs out the clock. So it's still a prototype. We still improve the stuff. I'm not sure it's on the cork, or because the cork is synchronized by them. But this is no problem. We check it out.
Sync is always a problem between external and modulars. There's always some weird thing going on.
The bass also comes from the box here.
Wow, cool.
Which voice is that?
It's from this
BOC,
BOC, yeah.
the discrete oscillator with 10 outs,
Yeah.
4 sub oscillators. We have ring modulation, we have wave folder, we have soft sync, hard sync, 4 subs with independent pulse width modulation,
Nice.
and a quint, no, we say fifth and fourth interval. So it's quite complex. You need an own mixer for this to combine all these wavefolds.
You can,
Does Ride the Storm have a mixer? Do you have a mixer?
yeah.
A little
It's a little one here.
two. We have two.
The mix is like this.
There's 8 channel, two A and B channel with 4 channels each.
Okay.
No.
Also a sum mixer for all 8. And then we have a very small 2 HB. They mix in the same, the active passive mixer. We have 2 channels with 5 inputs. So it's very slim. Just put into and mix the waveforms or whatever very quickly.
And all the signals are set to
In the same level.
The same level.
But sometimes it's enough. Sometimes you need more dedicated volumes. Depend on what you need.
Yeah, it depends what you're doing at your places.
But if you have not much space, then it works. Live is compromise. Always.
Yeah.
So the idea of the Hughes Cube with the function generator is also to implement some really punchy percussion envelopes.
So you could use it just as an accent if you wanted to, or more complicated
have
than
a one knob percussion optimized for VCAs. Go to 0. Optimized envelope. Normally you need a lot of stages and compressor at the end. But this is digital calculated, so it's perfect to make it percussion sounds punchy. That's an idea I have also. So many things happen, but it comes out in August. Koko perform a little bit and make us smiling in our face. Bring the smiling in our face.
Koko, make us dance.
We need more boost, man.
I think something goes a little bit. Not sure what the reason. No, timing is very important. Everything has to be.
Yeah, if your kick doesn't land on the line, things don't feel right. Nice cross modulation.
Oh,
Yeah.
big girl.
You knocked the guitar player over.
Your solo is starting soon. The ring modulation here. dedicated tremolo.
Sounds like your LFO is also synced to the clock. So.
Not really sync because analog clocks, analog LFOs you cannot sync, but you can restart it.
Right, but it's
So they have a restart.
Yeah.
Reset.
Yeah, it's like on my mobile. It's the same thing. You can't really sync the oscillator,
But that goes into auto rate up to 6,000 hertz. And this is the advantage. You have no aliasing, nothing. So it's fluent. And you can use it here. You can feed it inside the mixer and use it as another VCO. The same for the first oscillator. They have a tracking here.
Track 1 volt power active?
Yes.
Okay.
And the second one also have 2 trim pots, so it's really stable. So you're very flexible. And we have this. Loop. Also the loop's very fast. Three sub-oscillators with different waveforms. Staccato, triangle, octave. There's a quad, also a fourth. Jesus Christ.
You're messing your band up.
Hold.
Messing your band up.
Ring modulator. Sync. Quite flexible. All is discrete, so there's no chips inside.
Lovely. I was just going to ask if maybe that's digital, but if it's analog, you can do so much more with it.
Now it goes out of the. Interesting, huh?
Yeah, I have to check it out.
We have to check it. Maybe the cable is not too stable. It's also possible. I used a couple of times. Maybe it's there's one ticker is enough then. But we can also use
MIDI.
analog clock. Yeah, but we have to sync.
Yeah, let's check it.
Also with MIDI in, it's very tight. Also we use MIDI and this, but MIDI out we have to check.
If you use the clock out of here, do you have a reset as well? So you can send a reset too. So it would start on the one.
How about should work? Yeah. It will work when it comes out.
The pub.
So cool. I think Coco we can make later. We can make a little bit session later.
Yeah, later.
But the main thing is that we have
Yeah.
and
So happy to see you, man. Actually, like.
Well, I will bring a rig
Yeah.
next
make
time.
the official welcome to Berlin after 2 years. And
Well, thank you, because nobody else did that. And I just hit the road and started working.
and be the first one at the MODULAR PUB podcast. And yeah, thank you for watching. And next week we'll see what happens. Good.
Cool. Well, next week we have a show.
Yeah.
Are you still going to do your podcast and then come over and do the show?
Maybe we do it on Sunday. So bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.